as we go into the second hour of the main event with the local legend, Bruce Cooper, retired. He sleds the crowd. He was dodging trees coming in today, getting his car through those puddles.
Hey, let me tell you something. It was a little slow, a little on that freeway coming in. Yeah. I mean, I said, man, look, I know it was a major dust storm and thunderstorm last night, but hey, man, the clouds the skies are clear. I mean, let's get this traffic moving,
on
people.
The freeway, yeah. And I took that north 202 around today because I was like, I'm not messing with 60 after a giant rainstorm. I don't know what that
660.
202 was quick and easy to get up and around. Did you get a lot of rain last night? That's the big question.
It did.
We got it was a good 40, 50 minutes of just solid hard rain out where I am and trees just sideways and stuff like that. First big storm. And they say rest of the week. Look forward as well. I know Robert's complaining because he got just enough to dirty his car. He lives in the far so he's all upset about that, right? So it was interesting. So get caught up on the comments here in the second hour. Don't forget, join us live on YouTube, TME Media AZ. It's live right at the top of the screen there for you. Like and subscribe to the page as well. I was talking home run derby. Did you watch some of that as well?
You know, I watched just a little, but you know what? And I only watched the end, and I guess that's all you needed to watch anyway.
That was a great ending, wasn't it?
And I was unaware of the rule, the new rule change, the new format, where Walker was down to his last pitch, but if you hit a home run, that pitch you get another pitch, and so he's down 6 home runs on that final pitch. And each time you know, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. You can hear the Philly crowd. I mean, they're in it.
Yeah, because the guy that's gonna win it. If he doesn't do it.
It reminded me so much of the 23 playoffs with the Diamondbacks NCLS when Game 6 and 7. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But I mean, to see the crowd defeated like that, that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, boy, this is like deja vu all over again.
I've been asking people all day, did this happen? Because I missed the beginning part. I got caught in that storm going to pick up a pizza. I left the house, Coop, and it was just sunny as can be. Not a wind in the sky. Went and picked up a pizza. Got back in my car. Giant dust storm rolling through. Cloud, rain coming down side. So I got caught in that. So I was listening to it on the radio. So I didn't see this. Kobe, do you have that clip still available of the crowd last night? This is during the base. This is why it's so great to see Philly fans get so dejected out there. Listen to the crowd when the kids in the outfield make this play. Play it. Go ahead, Kobe.
The ball, staying short, compact, trying to keep his hands above the ball, really, really good. I think that's the first time he kind of was just late. It wasn't so much he overswung, he was just a little bit late. But he's keeping the barrel above.
I can't get enough of that.
Didn't they boo Santa Claus?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They booed Santa. It was them, right? That booed Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think it was Philly.
They throw batteries and stuff like that. So I just giggle, and so I'm just always happy when Philly fans get a little bit of misery.
Yeah, but you know, look, I was like I said, I was totally unaware of the new format, the new change there. But I
think the format's right. I think the way they presented it was bad.
How so?
There were times where the angle you're used to. What angle are you used to watching a baseball game for hitters and stuff?
Well,
it's the center field camera.
Yeah, center field.
And they were up close, kind of low angle. So when they hit a ball, you didn't know its trajectory. You know, a lot of times they'd hit a ball, they'd swing, and they'd hit one, and they wouldn't even follow it into where it would go. They would just keep talking. Well, one time they missed a swing.
Well, that's the director's fault. Maybe you need a new director because he's the one that calls for the camera shot.
But then at the end, and Robert brings this up on the chat as well. Join us on the YouTube chat. Robert says cutting off Walker's post-contest interview was a bad look for Netflix. He said, don't think they care, though. And that was it. You know, they cut him off. The bad interviews I thought were terrible. Let them do their job. Get them afterwards, kind of a deal, right? On the sideline. But so there's things you can tweak.
Well, yeah.
But I like the format.
Well, you know what bothers me is like once I don't care if it's a local affiliate or a network affiliate, once they've made financial investment and they have the exclusive rights and things like that, then it's not enough about the money that they're in that they're putting in. They want extra access, like okay, we want the coach mic'd up, or we want this.
It was in the deal when Netflix signed that deal. It was this is what we want.
Yeah, and so to see the teams act, or even the league acquiesce, and I just think that sometimes I'm watching, I'm like, dude, why? Yeah. Why? Just for the sake. I mean,
I can understand sitting in a boardroom and saying, "Oh, it'd be great to get a player's thoughts while he's about to swing." In a boardroom, that sounds like a great idea. That'd be fantastic. But when you play it out, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Now, look, in an all-star.
But if only you could test it before you do it, right?
Yeah. In an all-star game when it's not as serious. But I mean, even if you watch the championships or the Super Bowl, stuff like that, they want pregame access.
Yes.
They want halftime access.
Room.
Yeah, and then afterward. I mean, it's just, and then they'll tell you that, okay, look, we are going to do a 3-hour pregame show for the Super Bowl. So, we want access. We want an exclusive one-on-one with each team starting quarterback and each team. I mean, it's just all this stuff.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks are in there getting ready for the game, doing last-minute game planning. Yeah, because I make fun of Dale all the time because, like in soccer, the World Cup, the players go out there with the little kids. And I go, Dale, you could have done that as a Cowboy. You could have walked out there. He's like, I was in game mode. You didn't want me near a kid. Because you have to be mean. That's what always cracks me up about senior day in college football. It's like, oh, you get your name announced and you run out there and you see your mom and your dad and your siblings. You're all crying. They're all crying. You're all crying. My last game. And then you have to go, go kill somebody. It's like, I was like, do I don't know when you can do it, but do it some other time than when they need to be in football mode.
They always have like what they call parents' night, and it's a special night for the seniors because the parents are on the field or even on the court side, or be it basketball or football. And they got to walk out with you. You got to hand them a bouquet of roses or whatever, blah blah blah. And it's just. Those types of distractions, you have to get right back into a game mode. You're right.
Yeah. It's like, all right. It's like, all right, Mom, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go kill that guy. It's hard to do that switch, right?
Yeah.
Ethan says Dale's a part timer anyway. We named Dale part timer there for a while as a joke as well. I was telling Coop though on Dale's thing. I go, he's just used to June and beginning of July vacations because in the NFL that's when he took them.
Yeah, and isn't it crazy? Next week, I believe it's a week from Thursday where the Wednesday. Cardinals report. Is it Wednesday?
22nd.
Wow, a week from tomorrow.
Because of the Hall of Fame game. Yeah, so they get there a week. Them in Carolina. I think Carolina is a day or so later, but it's next week. They're the only two, and then the following week is everybody else.
Yeah, but but it's back.
Yeah,
it's back.
Well, you're blinking and it's back.
Jeez.
I know. We're gonna start revving up for it. We're gonna have to start talking Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett watch.
well, I read something in one of the articles online about how he had a number of the receivers, Cardinal receivers,
in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida and working out. Look, I don't know how much good that will do, but I will say this: that if and I know we've talked about this, if the Cardinals named him their starter, which they did,
which they did.
You cannot have his backup making more money than the starter.
No.
So
basic life 101 lesson.
Absolutely. So I have no idea what Brissett is asking for.
Yeah.
And because
I'm used to that because Dale and you make more money than I do around this place. So I'm used to that. But most people don't put up with that.
Yeah, and so so it's just to me getting the season started off sideways, and it's just so typical Cardinals.
And then did you see? We'll get into that. I want to get back to Diamondbacks, but then did you see Buda Baker went to Twitter and said, "Let's get this done."
Yeah,
he's not asking for that much.
I did read that,
and it's like,
and then when I said, "Oh my gosh," I said, "Michael, what are you doing?"
It's a terrible look. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna find out. This is bad. Because I've said it all along. If Jacoby Brissett's asking for $30 million, all right, have fun sitting on the sideline.
But like you said, Buddha said he's not asking for that much.
Here's the thing. If it was, here's how I look at it. The Cardinals.
Because the players talk. Players talk.
Players talk.
So Buddha's going to know what Brissett is asking for.
They know exactly what's happening, and they don't get into money, but they listen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a coincidence that the Trey McBride conversation came up where they lowballed Trey McBride in his contract negotiation. There's a reason that came out last weekend like it did, because people are sending the message to problems on the Cardinals side. If this was a situation where Jacoby Brissett was asking for an ungodly amount of money and the Cardinals were like, you're not getting that much. You know the Cardinals media apparatus as well as anybody. And I know it pretty well, and we all know it pretty well, those of us in this business. They would be feeding Schefter, Ian Rappaport. What they did was they sent it to Josh Weinfurst. This isn't a knock on Josh Weinfurst, but they said there's a significant difference between the two parties. They didn't give a number. If Jacoby was asking for 30 and the Cardinals only want to pay him 15, the Cardinals would have said that already. They would be out there of what the difference is. The reason why you're not hearing numbers is because Jacoby's probably in the right, and the Cardinals are the ones trying to lowball him going into this. And that's for the life, just a terrible look.
Yeah, and for the life of me, I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure it out because, I mean, I think I learned from you that Jacoby's his own agent.
Yes.
You know, and so here's a guy who's been a lifelong backup.
He's always been his own agent, by the way. So he's negotiated with the Colts as his own agent when he went back there and, as a starter. He's negotiated with the Patriots. He's negotiated with better franchises than your Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
As his own agent and got the deal, always got the deals done. And then you come here and there's problems.
Yeah. So and if the Cardinals are of that ilk, they're saying, okay, look, we believe in you honoring the contract that you signed. Because, some teams will try to throw that stuff out there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he signed that contract to be a backup. Now you change the terms of his play.
Cardinals messed up by naming him the starter.
You named him the starter. Mm-hmm. And so with that said, the game's changed. And so
it's even worse than that, though. I'm a big fan of if you're going to ask a person to go into a job with the expectation he's not going to be good at it, meaning the team's not going to be good at it. They're expecting to tank this year. Whether you know it or not, folks, the Cardinals are expecting to tank this year. If you're going to ask somebody to come in, it's a career-ending move for Jacoby Brissett, a potential career-ending move for him to come in and be the starter for year 2 and maybe go 1-11 again or whatever it goes. It's a career ender for him. Pay the guy a little bit more to come in and do your dirty work for you.
Yeah. And
what's wrong with that? It's a perception. You go farther in the league with players if you have that attitude. But to try to lowball a guy that you know is going to come in and not be able to win a ton of games because of the talent around him, it's just ridiculous conversation. Pay the guy a little bit more than you want to come and do your dirty work for you. It's not that hard.
Yeah, and this
and a 1-year deal, Coop.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I hate for Jacoby. They too many people point to, well, you see the season that Trey McBride had, you see the season that Michael Wilson had. Well, they can make it. They got that because of Jacoby. Jacoby is a guy, he deserves to be started. Well, here's the deal. If you go and you just really break down Jacoby's fourth quarter numbers, I mean, they're off the chart. And why are they off the chart? Because the Cardinals are down 20, 30 points.
Yeah, and he's got to throw the ball.
Yeah. And so now the defense is not playing as the same coverage. Now they're starting to mix some other people in, other subs in. And so those numbers look better than what they may actually look when you start a game and you're playing against one of the toughest schedules in the league this year, because that's what I believe the Cardinals are.
The toughest.
Yeah, the toughest. And so that's going to be really challenging. Yeah. So I don't want people to go in thinking that, okay, well, I'm looking for Trey McBride and Michael Wilson to continue to do what they did with Jacoby, because Jacoby is, he can see over the line of scrimmage where Kyler couldn't, all these things that come into play. But I'm telling you, if you watch the games, the Cardinals are down by, 20, 30 points by halftime. And so, Jacoby and those guys, they start picking up some numbers later as the game goes on, as it winds down. But having said all that, I said all that to say this. This Cardinals offense, the offense around the quarterback, the playmakers that they've added, I'm excited. I really am. Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
Should be improved.
I'm a huge Jeremiah Love fan.
Yeah, but,
and then
subtracting Penzing is going to improve you just by subtracting Penzing.
Well, you know what, Penzing's going to look a lot better. You know why? Because he's in Detroit.
And
you know what Detroit has? Detroit has a lot of playmakers. We already know.
I've already set it up. Watch for Kyler Murray. He's going to lead the Vikings to the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to be World Series champs or Super Bowl champs, but he's going to lead them to 10, 11 wins this year. And then Penzing is going to, his offense is going to, guys are going to be crossing each other, running circles out there and diving for balls and all of this stuff. And we're all going to go, where was this?
Yeah, but here's the deal. Detroit's already been an elite offense. And all they've done is their OC goes somewhere else and becomes a head coach. And then
last year's OC didn't work out. That's why Penzing's
that is true.
They promoted from within. But that's that old failure of you lose your good guy. You don't want to be the guy that follows the really good guy because no matter what he did last year is going to look bad for him and stuff like that. And it's just get ready for it, folks, because Penzing's going to have a good offense.
He is. I mean, he has a quarterback in Goff. He is running. Look, I'm surprised that David Montgomery left, but they had the best 1-2 running back.
They didn't want him there, but they have a replacement for him.
Well, they picked up Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs, and so but then the receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got Jameson Williams, you got Sam Laporte. Look,
they have an offensive line,
and
problem,
they do.
But other than that,
they do. But I think they look to address that in both the draft and in
they got that one young kid as a draft guy that's going to step in and start right away, supposedly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The Lions are. I was reading a thing the other day, and they're ranking fourth place teams and who can make the leap the most. The Lions are obviously the most obvious pick to go from 4th to 1. Cardinals were dead last. Well, a lot of that's their division at the same time.
Yeah. Look. But I will say this: I don't expect Seattle to be the force that they were a year ago when they won the Super Bowl.
I think losing their offensive coordinator is going to be a bigger, and I said this about Detroit last year, and I've said it about other teams. I think losing their offensive coordinator is going to be a huge loss for them.
Well, but they also lose Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. He's not going to be healthy to start the season. They drafted Jadarian Price from Notre Dame with their first-round pick to be that dude running the ball. But then I look at their defense is what really won that was the big difference made for them, and they've lost a number of people on that side of the ball.
The thing of reading about the defense, though, I was reading this around draft time. The guys they let go on defense, they had their replacements. Their replacements were playing last year, either because of injury or because they were earning playing time. So the guys that they lost on the defensive side, they are perfectly comfortable with their replacements because they were already playing with them, and they were deemed their replacements anyway. Coming into that. So that's where it'll be interesting to see. But that's what good teams do, Coop. They stack it up. Cardinals lose somebody, it's like, we got to get somebody else in there because we have nobody behind them. Like they stack guys.
The Cardinals have not done a good job in accumulating playmakers, but I'm gonna give Monty Ossenfort a tip of the cap because I like what he did in this draft, and they're starting to accumulate some talent, and I really believe and you're going to ask me, I know why would I believe that? Because he's too good. Marvin Harrison is going to live up to.
I don't see it.
Yeah, look.
I don't think he wants to play, Coop. I don't think he wants to play.
He's too good.
Okay, but.
And it's
the Levi Brown syndrome.
Yeah.
You have all the talent in the world, but do you want to do what's necessary to play? I don't know if he does.
And look, I have no reason to condemn you for those thoughts, but look, I'm telling you, and we all saw it. What he did at Ohio State's no joke. But the alarming thing is, he drops balls in his hands.
That's why I
can't get my head around that.
A receiver his whole life that's his one job is to catch a ball, contested balls or whatever. Take away the contested one, he never wins. He rarely wins.
Oh, he doesn't win.
Just random balls where he's running wide open, they hit him in the hands and he drops them.
Yeah.
That's a lack of focus. That's a lack of wanting to be out there.
But
and that's a lack of knowing and comfortability of where you are. And we're in year 3. That could be a year 1 problem. It's not a year 2 problem if you want to be good.
Yeah.
And that's where I question, and I hate to say it this way, but I question if he's got the heart to play NFL football.
Well, look, I don't think this is a DeAndre Ayton situation because, I mean, you can definitely question his heart, him wanting to play. But I truly, and look, I'm just as dumbfounded as the next. I have no idea why this elite receiver can't catch a ball.
Yeah.
And you might as well, like you said, don't even expect him to catch a contested ball.
No, every time a ball's contested, he catches a contested ball. And I'll tell you, Coop, our whole section mockingly claps when he catches a contested ball because it's so rare that it happens.
Yeah, and so
that's his role. His role is to go get that thing. He's tall. I saw a picture of him in Florida. Dude, it's ripped.
Yeah.
He should be able to tear a ball away from anybody.
That's why I'm going to say, look, his contract year is 2 years away.
Mm-hmm.
And
fourth year, because the fifth year option,
because they want to pick.
They have to decide on the fifth year option after this year.
Yeah. So this is really an important year, and look, like I said, I have no reason other than that. I just believe in his talent. I do. I've seen too many of his games.
Most talented. Him and Neighbors, to me, coming out of that draft, are the two most talented guys on the face of the planet. Talent's not his problem.
Yeah.
That's his problem. His head's his problem. And year one, I was willing to write off. Be like, all right, it was just a learning curve, struggled with Kyler. He didn't get, if anything, when he was out of the games last year with Brissett, that offense flowed better. When he would come back in, that offense looked worse again.
You know what?
You're stifling that offense.
You know what? I saw that myself. Matter of fact, Michael Wilson had this run, and then when Harrison came back,
and Michael Wilson looks like a guy that they thought he was beforehand.
Then as soon as he goes Harrison back out, and Michael's doing his thing. So I saw that too.
I hope you're right. And you know what we're gonna hear all preseason coming up here? Oh, Harrison's making this unbelievable catch in practice. He made this unbelievable catch in practice.
I don't want to hear that.
Check out this video of Harrison making this catch.
I don't want to hear that.
The ball just falls into his hand. We'll hear that all preseason long.
Yeah.
And then that game week one, the ball will go his way. Is he going to catch it or not?
Yeah. And so part of the playmakers that the Cardinals have added around the quarterback position that I'm so high on, it includes a return to play of Marvin Harrison, a return to play of his elite play.
You've got to bank on that. I just don't know if it's coming, but you got. I
don't either. But
I agree with you. You got to bank on it. I would love to see it. I want to see it. I'm just not going to get my hopes up, and I'm just tired of watching him. I mean, dude, I've been at every home game except for one in the last 2 years he's been here. Yeah. I think I missed one, the Niners game, that last season, end of the season game, and it's just running wide open. The ball hits him in the hands, and it's not that he looks away too early. He's watching it in there, bloop, doop, doop, doop.
And it's almost like he lost his confidence. How does a receiver lose his confidence to catch a pass?
That's what I mean. That should be the one thing you can do.
And it reminds me of when Marvin caught a touchdown pass from Kyler in the end zone. And he dropped to his knees. And he went, it's like, dude,
because he had dropped two easy passes before that
game. But dude, no.
Yeah. And what was the narrative after that game? Oh, Marvin Harrison finally got the monkey off his back, and then he just went back to being himself again. It's so frustrating. But we'll talk Cardinals, of course, as training camp next week for them coming up as well. Really quick, that you got there. Go back to the Diamondbacks. First half is over. We talked about the hope earlier. Hope that we haven't had here in a long time with this Diamondback squad. But the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Mike Hazen does what he did every year at the bullpen. He just goes and gets 1,000 arms. And, and he puts them together, and then as the season goes on, they're just moving guys up and down and just trying to get fresh arms up here. They haven't had to do that a lot this year.
No, and so much so that I find myself saying, gosh, do we even want A.J. Puck and Justin Martinez back for that final month? I mean, that's what I'm saying to myself.
Really? You're saying that?
I really am.
Well, I'll put it this way. If you get them back, it'll mess up the bullpen. But you won't need to pitch them much if your starters are still doing what they're doing. The only difference between this year and years past is starters are going longer. You're not blowing out the bullpen in game one of a series and having to use them all weekend, and then by the end of it, the guys can't throw anymore.
But let me tell you something. It's just been a season long now. I'm half a season that I've watched. Really more than half a season.
Yeah.
But
I know. I always do quotation marks.
Yeah. But I'm sold on Jonathan Loaiza, and he's the guy that I'm like,
young kid.
They're just picking up a bunch of guys.
I stopped calling him lasagna as my joke here because he's pitching so well.
Yeah,
he's earned his real name.
Yeah, I'm sold on Taylor Clark. Clark was a former Diamondback draftee. He was a starter, but now he's come back and he's really submitted. I'm sold on Juan Murillo.
Absolutely. He sucked for me on Father's Day when I saw him in person for the first time this year.
And the
he's been good otherwise.
And now that Diamondbacks trade that brought Brandon Garcia, dude,
I love
Brandon Garcia has been absolutely nailed.
The Diamondbacks' problem with the bullpen this year is guys aren't pitching enough.
Yeah, you can say that. You can probably say that. Yeah, but and then again, you tell me who you would drop out to bring it either.
No, that's a serious.
Because I keep going out, and I haven't even got to Kevin Ginkel.
Question.
Kevin Ginkel is throwing extremely well. That
did we see Ginkel in that Dodgers?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Remember now. And I'm looking so that you're left with two relievers left now: Ryan Thompson and Dre Jameson.
Yeah.
And Dre to me is your.
He's coming back from injury. They're baby.
Yeah, he's like your long reliever kind of guy, and so I'm like. Man.
Well, it's the same problem they got with the starters, though, because you said Zach Gallen. It's a nice problem to have, right? First of all, they got to come back healthy before we have to worry about that. Puck and Martinez. But two is, it's like the thing. Who are you taking out of this starting lineup with? Now, keep in mind, Soroka is coming back after the All-Star break. Who are you taking out of this starting lineup to bring Zach Gallen off the IL? Because you brought that up earlier. He's going to come right back into that. Who are you taking out of the starting lineup? You will have pitchforks outside of Chase Field and inside possibly. Which guy are you taking out to put Zach Gallen in there?
Well, Cabrera is going to be replaced by Soroka.
He's already went down.
Yeah, but let's say he's replaced by because they only sent him down because he wasn't going to pitch. He wasn't going to pitch anymore.
And then
they brought him Philip Abner, who could coming out of the bullpen. So
it's not a knock on Cabrera. He would be up here if Soroka wasn't coming.
Right. Let's go over this then.
So who?
E-Rod is your ace.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Brandon Pfaadt is throwing right now, the dude has refocused.
He has stopped that 1 inning meltdown that he had at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there's no question. Merrill Kelly's throwing the ball extremely well again. Yeah.
But
his last two
even
starts.
If he was pitching the way he was pitching before these two starts, where he was struggling a little bit, he still was a better option than Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
But he is pitching.
No doubt.
Pitching good
and so then you get the from there you have Soroka in that fourth spot, and I'm going to tell you, I like what I see from Cabrera more so than I do Zach Gallen. Yeah. So I'm with you. I don't mind seeing, but that's where the loyalty thing comes in.
Barring injury, we've seen the end of Zach Gallen at the Diamondbacks.
I really don't believe so. I think there's just. I mean, you mean for the rest of this year or going forward?
This year.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I don't see them trading him.
Barring injury, no, they're not going to trade him. He's not tradable. Who?
Well, you could trade him. You could trade him for you could trade him for a low A minor leaguer.
I will admit, I went to San Diego, and it was so refreshing not getting the standard Diamondback BS fed to me every day. On vacation, I ignored it a little bit. There was no problem with Zach Gallen at all. Then he goes and pitches the start, and then the next day let's go. The Diamondbacks notoriously don't send guys in for imaging for weeks afterwards. And all of a sudden, Zach Gallen has imaging like next day, and they find out red inflammation. He's got to go on the IL. This is one of those old baseball, hey, we're not going to embarrass you by DFAing you, but we're going to give you a break.
Yeah, we want to take a look at Mitch Bratt. We want to give Cabrera another run.
Yeah. So it's one of those deals. But I'm with you. Even if Zach Gallen comes back, well, by putting him on IL, even if he does have the inflammation, let's be honest about this. I know I'm being kind of like out there with he's not injured. He probably has elbow inflammation. But it was an excuse to put him on the IL. Once you've done that, it's hard to bring him back. And who are you taking out of this lineup? That's the other part.
Yeah.
The only guy that I would take out would be Merrill Kelly. And you're not taking
Merrill
Kelly out. Well, his last two starts were good, Coop. I remember before that he had a 5-point-something ERA and struggled. But these last two got him back into. But
at least he gives you like the Diamondbacks going into the All-Star break. He gives you hope because he's pitched very well.
So barring injury, I just think that's the case on the starting side with Zach Gallen. The other side of it is, you know how this is. It's the same thing with Kyler Murray in the NFL. You don't think there's conversations in the back of, dude, I'm sucking. Like, he knows he's not doing good. He can't figure it out. you don't think there's talk between the agents and them of, hey, don't embarrass our guy. He'll go on the IL. You know, kind of like what happened with Santana, right? You know, oh, he re-injures himself in AAA, so he's out there. Santana wasn't coming back. They were just trying to do the right thing with him. You know, doesn't mean he didn't get re-hurt, but they were fine. Oh, he got hurt again. Okay, perfect.
Well,
you know, it's just always going to be that type of a thing, so they don't embarrass him because they don't want to. And I can understand that a little bit.
Well, to me, you know, I don't think it was the Cardinals who said that.
It was Kyler Murray's camp.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Scott Boras isn't on the phone?
They quit. Kyler quit on the Cardinals. Cardinals didn't quit on him.
I agree 100. At least initially, and then the Cardinals kind of gave up on.
Yeah, they had to at some point.
But that's my point. You don't think Scott Boras is going? You're hurting yourself. Yeah. You're already in a bad spot. Yeah, you're in a bad spot coming into this year, and now you're in a worse spot. You don't think those conversations aren't happening?
Yeah, but Gallen has to. It's incumbent upon him going forward because, as you said, he didn't get that contract that he wanted, so he wound up signing with the Diamondbacks with the arbitration number, basically that they threw out there initially.
What was it, $25 million? And 15 of it's deferred.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. But he couldn't. That's the best he could get on the open market. Was the Diamondbacks arbitration offer?
I think the Diamondbacks overpaid him. Even we don't know that for a fact. I think they gave him an extra number to come back.
So this was a year that Gallen was looking to reestablish his value on the open market.
Remember last year they were talking about Gallen's going to make $30 million a year in free agency.
Absolutely.
I don't even think people called him.
Yeah, and so he's failed miserably at reestablishing his value on the open market to the point
where 31 years old.
Yeah, to the point to where when he does come back, because I know the Diamondbacks are going to bring him back, and he's going to be back. Every start he has, he cannot have another bad start. If this guy goes out and he throws like Eduardo Rodriguez, where his final
it doesn't mean he has to win, but he has to have good outcomes.
His final 8 or 9, 10 starts of the year, or whatever it is, he doesn't allow more than 2 runs a game.
Yeah,
start.
He's 30 years old. Nobody's going to give up on this kid. Diamondbacks have to, but nobody else is going to give up. He's going to get another job somewhere. He's probably going to have to get another 1-year prove-it contract again. But he's 30 years old. But here's the problem, though. I'm not even a baseball guy in terms of this, but you can't tell me I see his velocity being dropped. I see him struggling to throw over the plate, and when he does, it's straight down the middle at low velocity. Stuff to that. I see that as a fan. Every baseball scout, team, etc., sees it as well. And when you start losing velocity, can you get it back?
Well, even if you watch the location of the replays on the balls that are smacked out of the yard on him, and I mean a lot of balls are getting smacked out of the yard on him. I mean, they're like right over the plate.
Yeah, and they're low 90s over the plate, which is batting practice, which is the home run derby. I did see a funny tweet saying Zach Gallen's going to be the pitcher for the home run derby.
That's cool.
Made me laugh a little bit. That's the only thing. So for me, and I think for you, the kudos for the Diamondbacks is 100% the bullpen after this first quote unquote half of the season.
Yeah.
Starting pitching for me would be second. Defense would probably be third, and then hitting would be fourth.
Look, they're not getting hitting like they did when they led the league. I mean, they led all of baseball in runs scored a year ago. I thought it was last year.
Was it last year? It might have been last year. I might be confused. But it's recent.
Okay, all right. Let's put it like this.
But it's recent.
One of the 2 years they led the league, and they were top 5 in the other, the other year that they didn't lead. So they've been able to put a lot of runs on the board, and I don't know if it's because they're losing jackrabbits like McCarthy or. Maybe I can't even use Alek Thomas as an excuse because Alex just.
But Alex was an integral part of this team until last year. He started to struggle a little bit at the plate.
Yeah.
And then this year just lost it. But doesn't that also tell you about the organization?
Yeah, but then
look at your boy McCarthy in Colorado.
Yeah. And
Blaze Alexander in Orioles.
But then you go back to Eugenio Suarez. This guy was smacking 40 homers and driving over 100 runs. That's why I said.
But remember how bad he was before that?
Yes, and that's why
they stuck with him.
And
we were all clamoring for him to be DFA Lawler.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And he came around, and so that's why I thought it was so important that when the Diamondbacks went out and signed Arenado, I was clamoring just like a lot of people were for Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
And then the way Ildemaro Vargas started the year on fire at first base, you're like, wow, okay. But you knew that wasn't going to continue, and it hasn't. And so now you look in New York and you see what Goldie is doing with the Yankees.
258 batting average, 15 home runs, 42 RBIs.
Yeah. Are you freaking kidding me? And
he's been playing. I mean, he's been playing well for an aged first baseman. Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine? Look, how many more wins would he have brought the Diamondbacks if he were there? Yeah.
And you still have the defense on top of it.
Absolutely.
So that's the other side. Because they brought in, I was reading articles that the Diamondbacks' philosophy about first base is, anybody can play first base. We're not going to spend a lot of money on it. We can always find somebody.
Well, they didn't spend any money when they went and got Santana, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And how old is Santana? 88?
Yeah, and it wasn't good. Now, Arenado wasn't good in
St. Louis.
In St. Louis the last couple of years, but St. Louis is a whole hard ballpark to hit in, deep outfield and stuff to that. He's turned around. To me, Arenado, he was brought in for defense. I think Santana was brought in for defense, and then they didn't expect it to be that bad with him, before he got injured and things to that. But you have Locklear who's killing it in AAA right now, killing it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come up here and be a good first baseman, but he can't do worse than Pavin Smith, right? Right?
You're probably right about that.
Right?
Probably right about that.
I mean, even if he comes up and struggles.
But
that's my point. Same thing with Cabrera. Cabrera's an upgrade to Zach Gallen, period, end of story. So if it comes down to you need a pitcher, my opinion is you bring Cabrera back up and fill that starting spot and Zach Gallen go, because Cabrera's going to give you a better start than Zach Gallen. Period, end of story.
Yeah. You look at Cabrera's last start, you see where his youth came in. It was he'd only given up one run through, I believe they were going to the fifth inning.
Yeah.
So it's a 1-1 ball game. And so he walks a batter, and then the guy's still second base. So he's on second base now. And so what happened was there was a comebacker. There's only one out. There's a comebacker right back to Cabrera. And instead of taking the out at first base, which would have made it 2 outs with a runner on second, he threw the ball to second, safe, and now the runner's safe at first. And so now you got runners at first and second. So what does he do from there? He boxed the runners to second and third.
That was the one where Torrey got ejected, right?
Yeah. Box them to second and third.
Torrey walked out there.
Yeah. And it was clear. It was clearly a balk. I mean, his inexperience is showing. It showed on the balk. It showed on him making an ill-fated throw to second base.
I can live with those young mistakes. That's how you learn.
And that's just it. And so now the infield, Diamondbacks bring the infield in because I think we're in the fifth inning of a 1-1 game, and there's a ground ball that would have been an out at shortstop, but now because you have the infield in, both runs come in to score. So now you replace Cabrera. So. Cabrera has done, even in that loss that he took, he pitched very well, except for his inexperience cost him. Yeah.
But that's the type
and you can learn from that.
That's the type of play, though, that Torrey would send him down instantly. And then Zach Gallen, leaves several balls over the middle of the plate in the first inning. He's down 6-0 in the first inning. Yeah. And then Torrey's like, oh, have fun out there for the next 4 innings, and we'll get you another start. That's where they're frustrated. I can live with those. Now, Cabrera does it every game.
Yeah, and
we'll have a conversation.
And that's my whole point. I mean, he's a young pitcher whose inexperience rather showed big time in him losing the game and the Diamondbacks losing the game itself. So, but those are learning moments, and so I'm willing to grow with those moments. Yeah. As opposed to what I'm seeing from Zach Gallen, which is...
And I think that's why, forget about what the team does, I think that's why you'll see fan outrage and revulsion if Zach Gallen's back up ahead of him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Hey, really quick to wrap up baseball here. Umpires missed 14,441 calls in the first half of the season.
Over 14,000?
Yeah.
Jeez.
3,217 calls were overturned by the overturned system. I'm doing the math here on a calculator.
So 14,000. So 14,000 challenges and 30 and over 3,000 were wrong.
Were overturned. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, that's how it works. Yeah. According to the umpire auditor, 22%. I'll say this: it's got the worst umpires out of the game. With those 7 going.
Yeah.
Just a little thing here. Just an interesting deal around baseball. I like to point out because we're seeing in the World Cup right now all the, VAR stuff, and they're not getting it right. There's some other things they're wrong about it and stuff like that. Doesn't it feel, at least to me, doesn't it feel like the ABS has improved the game?
I think so. I like it. I actually like it, and I think
don't have too many
and there's a strategy to it, and I think that and it drives me crazy when I see a team like let's say
Perdomo a couple nights ago.
Yeah, like it's third inning, no score.
Yeah.
You're up to bat,
nobody on,
and nobody on base, and then you shout, dude, come on, man, wait for it to be a real big moment. Yeah.
Well, that's the other side of the strategy, because the strategies are going to change when playoffs come as well. Because I want to see a game I want to see a situation where it's 9th inning, 2 guys on, you're down by 1 run, game 6 of a series. You need to win it to move on. You've used your 2 challenges, 3-2 pitch, right on the corner there. You don't swing at it. It's ball 4, but he calls it a strike, and the game's over. You used your 2 things earlier in the game and lost them both. In that moment, I think you're going to see a lot of teams be like, leave me 1 for the end of the game. Leave us 1 for the end of the game, because that's where you're going to kind of just be like, what just happened out there?
Yeah.
So Diamondbacks All-Star game tonight. You'll see Corbin Carroll out there. Erod will get, probably an inning, I'm going to guess.
Well, I think, look, he deserves an inning. I mean, look, what is this, his 11th year?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. This is his 1 shot.
Yeah, and he's a first-time All-Star, and look, he's been with 4 or 5 different teams throughout his career. Yeah. He's well liked. Yeah, I mean, dude, you have to throw the guy in there.
Even if it's one batter, get him out there.
Yeah,
right?
you have to. You have to. And
I'll be disappointed if
not. And Carroll hit a home run in the All-Star game last year, and I think that kind of got jump-started his second half of the season. So I'm hoping he can replicate that.
I'm just hoping Carroll there, because he's a young guy still and things. He's kind of a quiet guy, but I'm just being around all these other big-time all-star hitters and things to that effect, and guys that do what he does even better than him a little bit. I'm hoping that he just has some conversations with them, and they're just like, hey, man, we all go through slumps. This is how you work on it. This is what you do. You're doing too much. And they can talk about that stuff to where you can take that. Because it's not happening here with the coaching staff.
No, yeah, Carroll's going after too many high pitches. I think teams have now started scouting him and say, look, when you get 2 strikes on him, let's go high.
Yeah.
He'll go chasing.
And there's a certain pitch. I can't remember what it is. It's not the slider. I forget what it is, but there's a certain pitch that Diamondbacks are the worst at hitting.
Probably the sweeper?
Maybe it's the sweeper. I forget what Jack Summers put that out from Diamondbacks on SI, and just 1 pitch, and they know it. Get down to 2 strikes, throw that pitch, and they're going to chase it. And that's where getting around for the All-Star game and just batting practice, just hanging out with guys that are that have been around the game, been in these slumps, they're able to get out of it quicker than you. Everybody slumps, but the best get out of it in a week or 2.
Yeah,
they're not in it a month.
Corbin's, when he gets in a slump, it goes way too long.
So I hope the All-Star game kind of, I'm not going to say wakes him up, but just kind of relaxes him a little bit.
Give him that spark.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him, I don't know how to define it, but it's something that we saw a year ago.
So I'll be watching the game tonight when he's in there, especially just to see if maybe there's a pep to his step or something to that a relaxation over him. That's the other side about I've noticed on the Diamondbacks. Man, when they get into slumps, they press.
Hey,
they just get tight.
Hey, let me ask you something. Have you been watching the NBA Summer League, your sons?
I watched, I caught part of game 1 on Friday night, and I saw game 2 on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll say this. Kamon Malawach, I've always said, I ought to put him in, because I've always said you can't teach his size and you can't teach his length.
Yeah.
So he can do a good job of getting in the way. If he may not get a rebound, well, the other guy is not, and so, but I'm so impressed with the work that he has put in. He's finishing with either hand around the basket. We already knew that he could catch alley oops, but now dude's not he's far from an Oso Ighodaro at the free throw line. Dude's hitting his free throw line and he's knocking down 3-pointers.
I was reading going into the summer league. I think I was on vacation. And I was reading how he's been in the gym every year,
dude,
every day this offseason.
It tells. He's one of those guys that has helped like Oklahoma City Thunder get better because player development, their own players they drafted and they signed, they've gotten better. Malawak has gotten miles better.
Now I keep in mind, I pull it back a little, but the way I look at summer, I don't know how you look at summer league. I look at summer league as the guys like Malawak, Koa Peets, they should have good summer leagues because they're better than those kids, those mid-20-year-old kids trying to, G leaguers trying to still keep a job and stuff like that. It's the guy you watch summer league to make sure, because if you see a guy like Koa or a guy like Malawak struggle in the summer league, you go, oh crap, he ain't ready. Because then you step up to that higher talent. So we're seeing what I want to see from Malawak and Koa in this, at least. Koa's size, people are saying he's undersized, man. I think his size is going to be all right.
He's got that Lou Dort football body, but in a taller frame.
Yeah.
He's just strong.
Yeah.
But people already knew coming in that he did not have the greatest shot.
Yeah, he's done a lot of layups and dunks and feeding off of passes for quick layups.
Yeah. And the little short mid range. So. And that's fine because one thing that I'm very confident in, he's going to put in the work, and though the Suns may not need him to impact them this year because of what they have going forward, he's going to be that dude.
Yeah.
And so that's good, He's another player that's going to develop for him.
I think having Miles Bridges on this team is going to help him the most. Big body guys. I know they play different positions, but big body guys, how to position your body. How to get that separation out there.
Well, believe it or not, they're going to be playing the same position because Miles is going to be the power forward on this team, and that's where Koa is going to play. And I believe that, I believe the reason why Koa probably will lose out on a significant playing time is that I don't think you can play three people at that position because I think that's where Rasheer Fleming is going to play.
That's what I was going to say with Fleming. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I don't know that that fourth spot is just such an unknown for me.
Because this is what I believe. I do believe that Ryan Dunn will show a lot of improvement, and I think he'll be the backup to Dylan Brooks at the small forward. And I think that Rasheer will back up Miles at the forward.
And we're going into this season with the same problem we had last. Too many guys in a couple positions. Last year was too many guys in one position. Yeah. Now we got too many guys in two positions. And I saw one of the reporters or beat reporters asked Gregory, the GM, about that. And his response was, "That's the head coach's problem to figure out."
And here's the great thing: they don't have to rush Koa along.
No, that's
he can go down and work on his game in the G League.
I think they're going to treat him like they did Fleming and Malawak. He'll go down and play a G League home game in Tempe, and then go to the arena that night and sit on the bench. Maybe get into a game late if it's a blowout or something. That'll probably be how it goes at the beginning.
Sure.
And then he can earn more playing time and stuff to that effect. But I agree with you. I think he's a development, for a year down the line. But you will see him in these games at times.
Sure,
year.
absolutely. I mean,
But they're 15 deep of guys that can step in and play.
Yeah, he's a local guy. The Suns' #1 pick. Yeah, fans are going to be clamoring to see him play. Yeah.
But I'm shocked at how big he looks again. Now, these are G League guys and less.
It looks like he's wearing shoulder pads, and he's not.
I saw it down on the court, camera angle of that, and I was just like, holy cow, he towers over that other. You can get mismatches with him out there, with that size difference and things to that effect. So, so for summer league, I just view it as you better be good at summer league if you're expected to be in the NBA.
Well, yeah,
and those two guys are coming into this. They're showing the level that they're better than these guys. It doesn't mean it'll translate to a lot of success on the NBA level, but step one is done. They're beating the summer league guys.
Yeah, see, to me, Kobe Brea didn't come in with the right mindset. He was I think he was like maybe 1 of 11 in the first 2 games from 3.
But he was throwing them out there. Coop.
Yeah. He was 6 of 11 from 3-point last night. I mean, and he hit 2 huge.
Yeah, I didn't see last night at all.
Yeah. He hit 2 huge 3. Suns are down 2. Hits a under 2 to play. Hits a huge 3. So they're up 1. Come back the next time they find him again, another 3, knocks that down. So they're up 4. And so that gave them the little distance that they were able to carry the rest of the game. But yeah, he's a terrific shooter, and yet he didn't come in with the right mindset. He didn't come in with that Kaman Malawak mindset or the Rasheer Fleming mindset. Hey, Fleming is I really like the guy. I mean, he's so
a big dude too.
He doesn't have the broad shoulders and the physique that Kawhi had, but the fluidity and the athleticism. And his ability to play above the rim.
Well, you saw that the last game of the year against Oklahoma City. What Fleming could do, and that's what I mean by summer. Last year, Ryan Dunn had a good summer league. Now it didn't necessarily, or was it 2 years ago? Doesn't necessarily transition to the NBA side. But you just have to be able, if you're going to play on an NBA team and have success, you got to do good in the summer league. The summer league's just clunky with all these guys. It's not a knock on these players trying to make it and stuff, but it's just clunky to watch.
The thing that's more impressive to me about Ryan Dunn from year 1 to year 2, even coming out of the summer league. See, when he was drafted out of Virginia,
he couldn't shoot a lick.
He couldn't. And he knew it. And so I think at Virginia, I think he tried like 10 threes total, something like that. And he just didn't do that. But he's worked on his shot, something that I would love to see Oso Ighodaro do. Oso coming into year 3. Yeah. If he comes into year 3 shooting more push shots again, I'm gonna lose.
Let me ask you this: Oso in his second year, did you see improvement in his second year?
I saw improvement in his ability to see. He would attack the basket off the dribble. See, he's a skilled big man. Yeah. He can get a rebound and actually lead a fast break.
He can, yeah.
He passes the ball extremely well. So when he drives to the cup, he can finish with either hand. Very good. But dude, I mean, he wasn't much better than the dude in New York that shoots free throws, Robinson. I mean, he wasn't much better than Robinson. I mean, dude, they played Haka Oso. Yeah. I mean, dude, stop it. And your best and you don't shoot anything outside of the paint. Man, come on now.
And that's what I was just getting at. Is I saw improvement from year 1 to year 2 in Oso. Now you want to see that big jump now.
Yeah, dude, he gets your behind in the gym, work on that shot. And like I said, I have seen people come into the league and I can point you to Patrick Ewing. He was a defensive savant at Georgetown.
He could only dunk it and lay it in.
And with the Knicks, I mean, he's averaging over 25 a game.
There was all those key shots, the corner key.
Yeah. There's Akeem Olajuwon, again, another defensive savant at Houston. But now he comes in, he has the dream shake. I mean, he's a guy scoring over 25 a game. Yeah. And then we saw the Suns acquire Jason Kidd from the Dallas Mavericks. And like I've said on this very show before, when he came here, they called him Asen Kidd. Yeah. And why? Because the J was missing. But yet, when he retired, the dude was top 10 in 3-point field goals made. Yeah. So you can work and change and become a good shooter. I mean, Magic Johnson wasn't a good shooter.
You just got to be able to put the work in. Isn't that interesting, though, that on Malawech, I saw all these stories about how he's been in the gym area. I haven't seen anything on Oso. It doesn't mean he's not doing it.
Yeah, but I tell you what, we'll find out if he's still doing that push shot. I mean, for crying out loud, man. I mean, look, Mike Hartenstein. Okay, he can get away with that. All right, but you're a young kid, dude. You're 23 freaking years old. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Put in some work on the gym, man. Dang, can't be that difficult. Suns would be better if he got better.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I like the way the Suns are building. One, they overimproved last year, than what they were before. I just don't know how Green's going to fit in this, but I like this makeup of this team. I like how they're bringing toughness in. I think they are going to be improved over last year. I'm questioning how Green's going to fit in.
Dude, Green, hey, look,
because of last year.
The Suns would not have. I mean, he was their best player in those 2 play-in games. Jalen Green.
He's their best player on the court. He's got to be on the court.
Yeah, he had over 30. Yeah, he had like 35 points in each one of those games, and so he can get to the rim
so explosive
down here. Yeah, he's just so gifted athletically. Yeah. So I'm telling you. So the way the Suns played this past season, they didn't really have their best true point guard is Colin Gillespie. Yeah, but yet when you watch the games unfold, Colin Gillespie, well, he'd be in the corner shooting threes, or he'd come off.
The season went on, but I think Colin Gillespie, he learned a valuable lesson last year that the basketball season is long.
It is. But here's my point with Gillespie. Gillespie's their best ball handler, their best distributor. I mean, he can do some of those things that Steve Nash could do in terms of dribbling around and stuff until he dishes to someone else. But yet, I just know how the Suns are. They get into these analytics and these metrics and stuff.
Yeah.
There were only 2 players who were better catch and shoot three point shooters than Colin Gillespie. And so Gillespie, they have him coming off these pin downs, or they have him standing in the corner. And so when they found out that, okay, only 2 players were better at catch and shoot than him, and yet he also was the Suns' all-time single-season leader in 3-point makes. Yeah. So all of a sudden, they're remaking this point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
middle of the season.
I think the Suns could cut down on a lot of turnovers if they gave him the ball more to handle more.
That's always conflicted me with the Suns. Like, you want the ball in Booker's hand, but he's proven he's not.
Booker's a turnover machine, bro.
Yeah, I know. But he's not the guy. He's not a point guard. Now he can bring the ball up from time to time and stuff. But they were like dead set on that. They got to get off of that.
Well, his worst seasons were when Durant was in, because they ran the same damn offense. They'd throw the ball, throw it to him on the wing ISO, and when a double would come, him and Durant were famous for trying to throw cross court turnovers out of double teams like that. Dude, why are you running an offense like that?
Yeah, no, I saw Vogel's going to Golden State under Steve Kerr for this year, which I like Vogel as a coach. I think Vogel was vindicated after you brought in Coach Bud. Yeah, I think Vogel was vindicated on what he was able to do with that just terrible makeup of a team that year. But he's up in Golden State now. Robert says it's the splitter. The splitter's the ball that the Diamondbacks can't hit, and it's like record. It's like record low levels compared to the rest of the league as well. And he says they could have not signed Gallen and went after Murakami. Another decision that Diamond. I don't know if they would have got Murakami though. But that's those decisions that you kind of go, all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Diamondbacks need to really find that Eugenio Suarez type guy. They need a power hitter, a true power hitter. And look, they have Gabby, who's more of a contact hitter playing cleanup.
Yeah.
But when they have somebody who can be proficient at getting the ball out of the yard, the Diamondbacks seem like they do better offensively in terms of scoring.
How many years have we been clamoring for a third baseman here? I know Suarez became one. We expect him to be, and then he outperformed it after he struggled for long. But first base and third base, they've just now. You had Christian Walker first base, forever, for a ton of years. So you could kind of ignore first base, but I think they've proven they just don't care about first or third base. And to me, that's what the power guys are. They go get those old aging guys to fill those gaps.
And so then you look down at their farm and you say, okay, what do we have on the farm? What they've had is they've had a glut of shortstops.
Yeah.
And so much so that they're moving Jordan Lawler to center field. Yeah. And Lawler's so athletic. He reminds me of Fernando Tatis, who was a shortstop. Yeah. Now he's made a successful transition to outfield in San Diego.
Outfield's easier on your body.
You're looking at the Diamondbacks farm right now. I mean, their best players are, again, shortstops, like this Kason Cunningham guy.
They just drafted a couple more shortstops in this draft on top of it. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. They really do, and I know that they're moving people around. Like even Troy Tulowitzki, he was a shortstop, and they tried moving him to third base, but now to get him on the roster, they moved him to the outfield.
You can play shortstop, you can play third base, but it's not always the case. They always go put him in the outfield.
Yeah,
which I find it interesting too. That's why we have this logjam in the outfield, or at least did going into the season. It's because you want to convert everybody to an outfielder. Well, part of that's because you have Marte at second. Bob Nightingale, by the way, and then Perdomo at shortstop. Those are hard guys to replace from that. But unique corner guy, and it's as I look at it the same as I do the bullpen, where it's just like they just assume like we'll just sign 100 guys in the bullpen, and it'll be good enough. Whereas all these other teams are like the Padres. Oh, we need Mac Miller's our closer. This is this guy. This is this guy. They just throw a ton of. I think the same way with first and third, where they just think it's a commodity and anybody can play it. And we just learned Pavin Smith and the old guy they just released. We just learned that that's not the case.
Santana.
Yeah, Santana.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, Ildemaro Vargas, he's usually been a third, short, second base guy.
Journeyman.
And,
this year he's improved.
But now they moved him over to first base. Yeah. I mean, so he had become their first baseman. And Tim Tawa, here's another guy that
Tawa plays everywhere.
Yeah.
And he can't hit.
Yeah, but he did in that Dodgers series, so I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean,
but Tawa goes down to AAA. This is their problem too. Is they have a few guys that Waldschmidt. I'm not saying he's going to be bad in the majors, but he goes down to AAA and they dominate.
Yeah,
Tawa, Waldschmidt, Lawler. You bring them up, but that also comes down to they don't get the opportunity.
Right. I think like you see with McCarthy in Colorado now,
and Blaze Alexander.
He goes out every day, knows he's in the lineup, and knows he's not coming out. Regardless if he goes 0 for 50, he's going to still be out there, and they're going to get a chance to come out of. So now
I started watching Rocky's games because of McCarthy, the way he's playing right now, and Rocky's games are terrible to watch.
Yeah,
but that's another team that is terrible, but has a ton of hope.
Yeah,
ton of hope because of the way they're playing and their young kids up there, including McCarthy. He's got 2 inside the park home runs in the first inning this year.
Yeah,
one against Paul Skeens, by the way.
Yeah. Look. With him and Corbin Carroll on the team, and the way and Perdomo has always just shocked me. He's not a speedster, but he's so smart.
Yeah.
And so that's why I know the Diamondbacks have looked around. They said, look, Perdomo's like what? 24 years old. Yeah, and they said, look, he's our shortstop of the future. Yeah. I mean, he's not going anywhere.
And they just paid him to do that.
And so now they're trying to find all these other guys you have down on the farm that are shortstops. Say, look, we got to find another position for you if we're going to get up to the majors, because Perdomo's that dude.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Robert brings up another point is, if you look at the Diamondbacks compared to other teams, they're just undersized all the time.
They draft a lot of those high school kids that are like
this year. They went mostly college this year.
Yeah, they draft like Corbin Carroll's like one of those high school dudes that was really.
Corbin's not a big dude. Folks.
No, he's not.
I've been around him in person, and he's not a big.
He's not a big dude.
He's got the power though, but you're missing though. I don't want to use Aaron Judge as an example because he's an enormous human being that you generally don't see on a baseball diamond. But every team's got that 1 or 2 guys that's just, all right, I'm going to go jack home runs. Give me my lumber. Let's go. And stuff. And it's like a philosophy for the Diamondbacks to go undersized, which it's a strategy, I guess. We can just say that.
Yeah, and I look around, I'm seeing other teams like James Wood. I mean, he's got 28 homers before the All-Star break. And I'm like, where did he go in the draft? I'm trying to see, could the Diamondbacks have drafted him? Or
last night's home run hitter. I mean, he was what Pavin Smith should have been. Jordan Walker. He struggled in the major leagues. Not good this year. Boom, puts it all together. He's having a good year this year. It's like that's what Pavin Smith should have been, right? And you pick the wrong guy to do that type of a thing. I don't know if he's going to continue in the league at this level. This might be his only blip, but we don't get those guys here too often.
No,
and that's where they're kind of missing a little bit.
And they had this one draft. And I think Drew Jones was like a top 5 pick.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, and he's big. Now I said, okay,
he couldn't get out of California League until this year.
Yeah, he every year there was always something wrong with this kid.
I watched a lot of games of him hitting the ball off that stupid barn at the home field in California League. He hit the ball at home runs, and it'd be off the stupid roof of this barn and everything. And I'm like, why is this kid not getting moved up?
Well, shoot, he hadn't even played a full season in minor league. I mean, he's always hurt.
Yeah, him and Lawler.
I mean, it's like, dude, are you freaking kidding me?
I think he's. Remember how high
I think this might be his healthiest year, or maybe last year was his healthiest year to date. So,
I'm trying to see here. Isn't he? Is he in AA now?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's in AA this year. So they're starting to give him some.
He's starting to show that he's playing healthy now. Yeah. I mean, dude, come on now. I mean,
it's just interesting. I just don't. The strategy of undersized guys I brought that up in the closer. As much as we give props to Sewald, and I'm going to continue, it's just, my idea of a closer is a Mac Miller over there in Padres.
Sure.
Guy that comes in overpowering.
Oh man,
the music to walk in is intimidating. He stands on that mound, and you just know you're not going to hit this guy.
No, you're not. I mean,
that's my idea of a closer.
I mean, his off-speed pitches are like 98 miles per hour. Are you freaking kidding me?
He gets faster as he's out there. I mean, him, Chapman back in the. I know he's still around. But,
Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, I think he's still with the Red Sox.
He's still around. But just big, imposing guys that just go out there and throw it and stuff. And it's just the Diamondbacks. It's just a lot of that around here of just undersized guys. Or we're always trying to reinvent the wheel here. Cardinals with the that hybrid position for a while they were trying to get in there. The Diamondbacks undersized. Just we always try to reinvent the wheel and be smarter than everybody else. Just go get the talent.
Man. Yeah, no doubt. And so.
What does it say, really quick as we wrap up, what does it say about Arizona State? 10 players drafted in the draft. 7 of them, I believe, were pitchers, no less, in this draft. He's getting the talent here. Made it to the regionals this year, but that's a good sign for them, right? But getting more talent.
Well, I was reading where they listed the number of all-time players from Arizona State that are drafted. Mm-hmm. They are Arizona State's number 1 in players drafted.
They're the number 1 or number 3. I've seen conflicting. Georgia and Arkansas and Arizona State are the 3 teams that are in that one team.
I'm talking about all time.
All time.
All time.
Years? Okay.
All time. Yeah. It's possible that Arizona State was number 3 this year.
These 3. Yeah, this year the Arizona State was 3, but Georgia and Arkansas has had a lot of players.
Yeah. All time. This one I should have been more clear on that. But Arizona State's number 1 all time. So they have this history. Yeah. They have this history.
You got Bear there for a while,
right? And so and so you can get those type guys here, and look, I will say this: Arizona State really showed us something this past year, and I think they improved greatly on the mound. I think that was the biggest difference that helped get them.
2 years ago, their starting pitching was awful.
Yeah,
and last year was better.
They went. We talked about his name earlier in this show. Cole Klecker from Hamilton played on the same team with Cholosky. They went and he came back for his senior year. Yeah. I thought behind Cole Carlon, another local pitcher from Corona del Sol.
First draft pick that one out.
Yeah. He was their best. So their 2 best pitchers were local guys, and we talked about Hamilton.
Harrison sticking around after last year.
And Harrison's, again, another local guy from Castile.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they're doing down there. I mean, it's good to see. They're getting the talent here, and he's growing this program up. I'm not saying they're going to go win a World Series in the next couple of years.
But that's what they should. They have that type of pedigree.
They had 2 guys that are top levels that got drafted, and now they have to decide if they're going to go pro or come to Arizona State. I mean, they're getting that caliber of guys.
Oh, really? Who is that right?
I can't remember the names
what rounds did they go into?
Later rounds, not later rounds, but like second, third rounds, and stuff. So
that might be hard. That might be hard to do.
Yeah, but it's also you can get lost in the minor leagues.
You can't, and I was shocked. I was watching a Diamondbacks broadcast. I think it was a rain delay, so they did a deal with Jody Jackson and Arenado. Did you know that he was, if he didn't sign his major league contract, he was coming to Arizona State? I never knew that.
That's what he claims. It's just, I don't know. Is that a local thing that you got out there? By the way, the number 1 draft pick this year is signing rumor has it, $10.25 million. So if you were friends with him in high school, hopefully you were real good friends with him in high school. 10.5 record signing bonus for him signing with the White Sox as well, reportedly coming his way.
Yeah.
For being the number 1 draft pick as well. Last thing I got for you is high school football wise. Did you see 3 Arizona teams are ranked nationally in the preseason high school football top 25?
I didn't see that, but I know Basha has to be one of them.
Yeah, they're the highest, 15th ranked.
I don't think Chandler would be in there.
They are 23rd.
Are they really?
Missing one that's in between the 2. And to me, this is a shocker.
Desert Edge?
No, it's only a shocker. I think Chandler. They're all Chandler schools if you haven't noticed it. But the reason why this is a shocker is because quarterback question marks.
At Hamilton?
Injuries, Hamilton's ranked 19th.
Well,
think about this for a second. If you know anywhere in town where these schools are, down that one little corridor there, the 87.
Well, their quarterback is a guy that got hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah, well, now he's been hurt last 2 years. in the playoffs.
But his and I'm losing the receiver.
Roy Oliver?
Yeah, Roy Oliver the third.
Who reclassified.
Roy was just he was a beast.
Yeah.
And so the quarterback, that quarterback, I can't even think of the quarterback's name.
I can't think of it right now.
And so,
I'm unprepared for this.
But I think he would. I think is he going to be healthy enough?
That's what I don't know. Oh, their backup is pretty dang good. Well, no, actually, let me take that back. Their backup last year, because when he got hurt, it was like a senior that had to come in and play, and he was just waiting for his time and stuff like that. So I don't even know who their backup is. But that's my question. I don't know the answer to that. I've reached out to some people to get some updates here because that's starting to take off. That's why I was shocked at 19.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in the high school football mode right now because I couldn't remember Oliver's name, and I can't remember. I can't remember his quarterback who was so prolific. Yeah. They were both sophomores.
Yeah.
And
Roy Oliver reclassified, so
right?
He's a year older now.
Yeah, so he's going to go to USC after this year.
USC is where he's been to. But yeah, Hamilton was just a little bit of a shocker at 19, just because. I don't know their quarterback situation. Is he going to be healthy? He's got injured the last 2 years in the playoffs. I know last year it was an upperclassman that came in and filled in for him and did a good job. That's a solid team. But I am more shocked about this that Basha, Hamilton, Chandler. You can literally just bloop, bloop.
Yeah. Look. Will Menzel just had one hell of a year. I mean, he came out of nowhere, and it was just the coaching change, really. I think he's committed to Oregon.
I believe so.
Yeah, and
I'm shocked at how many of those kids are going to Oregon.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Oregon's had a nice pipeline here in Arizona. They get some of our top rated players out of here.
All the skill guys, skill position, obviously type of a deal. So just look at that 3 Max Preps top 25 national ranking.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, Chandler's back 23.
Well, I would say that if I had to pick a favorite of those 3, it would definitely be Basha.
It's Basha. It's not even close, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
I think their whole team is going D1.
Yeah.
The Water Boy is going D1 Water Boy.
At least based on the rankings, I guess we got the number 1 Arizona State. When I say we, number 1 player in the state, the offensive lineman Hildebrand.
Basha.
Yeah, and they got a kid named, I think, named Dejan or something like that.
I went to a Basha game 2 years ago, and they were just warming up with their pads off, and I went, "Who's the junior varsity? Who's the junior college team out there practicing?"
Yeah, really.
They're
huge.
Like D1 players.
I know.
And offensive line, literally, the offensive line goes to line up, and their heads are here, and Desert Ridge's heads were here.
Yeah.
Offensive line against the defense, and you're just like, okay, good luck to you.
Yeah.
It's just the talent going down there, and that Chandler area. To me, Chandler and Hamilton are more schools than Basha can be skilled, but they just have the brutes down there. I think that's what kind of sets them apart, as well going into the season. But I don't know. I find it interesting. My bigger point on this is man, and then you got 2A with Scottsdale Christian going for 4-peat now with their talent.
Without Dale Hillestray.
They only won 2 with him. We got to get 2 without him, right? We got that going on in high school football here, man. It's not California level. It's not Texas level.
No. Hey, let me tell you something. As a guy who did Friday Night Fever for 30 years before I stepped away, and it's still going strong over 12 News
with Cam in them.
It's unbelievable, night and day, the talent level that comes out of this state now. I mean, it is now, and it's been this way for the at least last 10 years. Arizona is a must stop for all of the major conferences. I mean, SEC included. This is a major stop in their recruiting trail.
Oh, the SEC. The SEC comes in and gets guys, and then they go there and don't play. I caution people, don't go to SEC schools. You'll never play, and then you'll be coming back, type of a thing. And that's kind of what the point is.
That's not what you look. Christian Kirk went and showed out.
He was one of the ones.
How
many years ago was that, though?
Well, and then I'll give you the guy that the Eagles drafted. He was from Saguaro, defensive back. And why am I losing his name?
I know, I just forgot his name, too. But who are you talking about?
Yeah,
those skill positions. I'm talking about linemen and stuff like that. But here's the thing: it gives you hope with Kenny Dillingham keeping Hillenbrand here.
Sure.
Number 1 offensive lineman, coming out in his year, and keeping him here. And then he's able to talk to other kids that he plays with there. Hey, stay here, stay home, man. You guys got it.
Yeah.
And it's a huge thing because we're losing those kids. We're losing the big skilled kids to Oregon and USC for some reason.
Right.
Like, why are you still looking at USC there, guys? That school's down on this bottom. Then you lose the big kids to the SEC, the linemen, the defensive linemen. For him to get Hillenbrand, I think is a huge steal, and it could lead to some positive increases.
Well, what Arizona State has to do, just like the University of Arizona, if you want to keep those kids here, you're going to have to win. You're going to have to start playing in these Final Four and national championship games because that's the allure.
Yeah, that is true. Man, especially now if it's expanding coming up here too, right? So,
yeah, I think they're going to go with at least the 12 teams at least.
Well, the Big 12 one, I know you read about it. Just I don't know. Watching this World Cup, I'm so against expansion. You're going to get teams that don't belong in it. It's all just a money grab, and it's just going to be a glorified low-end bowl game at some point for these opening games. And
is that your way to say that you're taking Spain over France tonight?
I'm taking France over Spain today at noon. I'm going with France. Yeah, I think France is the team to beat this year. Now, Spain is France's team they can't beat. They've lost to them in the Euro leagues and all that stuff over the last 3 years. So I think France has to overcome that we can't beat Spain bandwagon. But today is the game, noon today. Today is the game you want to watch. This should be the championship game. Meaning the next game the championship game might not be as good as this.
Well, you got the two of the biggest stars going tonight anyway.
Well, the three on France, Bopway, and those other two guys that I just forgot their names on it. I always joke around and go, "Who's on Spain? Anybody know who's on Spain?" It's just full of talented, just top level guys, and stuff like that. Things. England. I got England over Argentina tomorrow.
Do you really?
Argentina hasn't played a top 10 team in this whole tournament. They've struggled with Cape Verde. They struggled with Egypt. I think in England, normally England's the team in my eyes. I say this all the time.
England's not one of those power soccer programs.
Well, they have a ton of. Here's the problem with England: they have a ton of talent. They should be one of the best in the world. But then they get to the World Cup and they just disappoint you. There's no grit to them. They face some adversity and they always get knocked out for some stupid reason, and the country hates them and all that stuff happens. They're just not mentally tough, is how I'll put it. They just lose for some reason.
And so
this year they changed my mind on that.
They changed your mind, okay.
Because they went to Mexico to play Mexico, went through that hostile environment, won that game, right? And then the next game wasn't a letdown. This last game that they played over the weekend wasn't a letdown for them there. I think England's got the grit to get there this year. Yeah. And I think you do have to worry about officials favoring Argentina a little bit because it's messy. You do have to worry about that. But I just think England's ranked fourth in the world. First top 10 team Argentina's playing this whole tournament. They struggled against some of these lesser teams. So I'm gonna stick out. I'm not confident in the pick, Bruce. I'm not confident in it.
So
I'm gonna go with England.
So if Messi gets a hat trick, then you won't be surprised.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if Argentina wins it. But I'm gonna go with. I just can't wrap my head around it. But here's the problem, though. Whoever wins the Spain France game, they're gonna be the winner. Doesn't matter what cup it's on. These are the two best teams playing today, and I don't think it's close. I think there's a big drop off behind them.
All right. Well, he's the guy that knows. He would know.
Well, we'll see. Don't put money on it. I haven't been betting it. I wouldn't put my money on it as well from there. So, Coop, appreciate you coming in today.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get Dale back from Sedona.
Right. Maybe he'll be back next week. He'll come back for a week.
I can't believe you get a guy a whole freaking
weekend, a birthday week
in Sedona.
Like I said earlier. You've been to Sedona 100 times. I've been to Sedona 100 times.
You only go on the weekend.
Yeah. If you go up there on a Friday, by Sunday morning, you're going, all right, you guys ready to leave? Let's get out of here. We'll stop on our way down back to Phoenix and do something. Yeah, I don't know what you do there for a week. Unless you're hiking or I used to go.
Dale ain't hiking. Yeah, we know that.
He ain't hiking. Maybe he's in one of those heat huts or trying to find himself or something. I tell the story. I went there one time and one of those high-end, ridiculous. I didn't pay for it. High-end, one of those find yourself resorts. They had like a healing trail, and you walked in this trail, and you would go on this hieroglyphic thing where you just walk in circles. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing while I'm walking in a circle? You get to the bottom, and then you walk out. You're supposed to be thinking. They had like one of those heat huts that you get into, and it hundreds of degrees in there and you just sweat, but you're supposed to like sweat out your problems and all of this. All the food was like food. Like the eggs were like egg beats and had all this stuff in it that I don't like. It's too healthy for me and all of that stuff. And I was there for like 3 days, and I like day 2, I was like, all right, I'm ready to get out of here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Dale will probably come back and tell us he got some inside scoop on the Rossini Vrabel Sedona
That's what we were giving him a hard time about. Was, who are you visiting, Rossini or Vrabel? Which one are you going to see up there? Which family are you going to go hang out with? Or he's going to come back and be like, I had an epiphany. He's going to have some big insight on the Cardinal season or something coming up.
They'll win more than 4 games.
Is that what do you think on that? Just really quick, right now, what do you say?
Well, just because I see everyone in the West has really improved, I see the Cardinals going 1-5. I don't see them. I see them get swept by both the Rams and 49ers, and I think they can split with the Seahawks.
Yeah, if they get 2 wins before week 14, I think. When's their bye week? Week 12, I think it is. If they have 2 wins going into their bye week, I'll be shocked. But if LaFleur's the coach we think he is, can he keep their heads into it? Because you can get 2 or 3 wins.
Look, and we already know this. The Cardinals are better than their record from a year ago. I just think that once they lost those, instead of being they were a kick away, a walk-off kick, 3 straight weeks from being 5-0.
If they would have won those games,
if you're 5-0, your mentality, your confidence, everything is so much different.
I think he lost the locker room with those 3 losses.
Yeah.
The coaching staff lost the locker room.
And the most devastating one was the one in which Kyler said, I'm done.
The one where Kyler took a ball off his face and had a foot injury?
Yeah. Well, which happened to be the same game that DeMario Mercado went like 70 yards for a touchdown, and before he crossed the goal line, threw it down. And then the Cardinals still have a chance to win the game. Yeah. Despite the fact that Carolina kicks this onside kick, they have it. Yeah. Dude.
About that,
they intercepted the ball just at the goal line. Intercepted the ball. The game is over. Yeah. Cardinals, they fumbled it. Okay, they fumbled it. And then 3 other guys had a chance to recover it, and they don't. And Carolina recovers in the end zone for a touchdown. Dude, that's the most demoralizing loss I can. And Carolina, they win it. They were able to win on the kickoff.
Yeah. My tickets are live, Coop. I got tickets to the games this year.
Yeah. So and I said all that. Say this: they weren't as bad as that, and so I
think their defense just got tired at the end of games, to where they couldn't keep leads because they were out there a ton because they were just marching down the field quickly and then turning the ball over and not scoring, and the defense had to run back out there. They just got tired.
And so.
The problem is the schedule they got. I don't find me.
It's a brutal.
Wins in that
I've heard this, and see, here's the deal that I don't get. Okay, you're playing in the same division with the Seahawks, who were the Super Bowl champions. Why is the Super Bowl champion schedule not tougher than the last place team in that division?
Because you get the luck of playing the Detroit Lions, who finished 4th in their division last year, and they're a really good team, Coop. That's why. You got to play the Chiefs, who were terrible in their division last year, and they still show up with a lot more talent than you have. That's why their schedules were. The 4th place schedule is bad this year because of the teams that finished 4th last year. They're still good teams.
Well, do you figure
the Chiefs and the Lions are really good teams?
Well, do you figure the teams that finished first, like the Bears, like they're going to fall off the map? Or
no, but those. I mean. But the Seahawks also you're expecting them to be good. That you're looking at through different prisms.
Yeah.
So, the Seahawks have a really tough schedule, but you're expecting them to compete and be better than the Cardinals are double-digit underdogs in most of they're even underdogs to the Jets at the end of the year. No point in underdogs.
Look, the Chiefs were a 4th place team, weren't they?
Yeah, so were the Lions.
And here's
normally
the deal.
you'd be playing like the 1 and the 2 and whatever bowl, Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Patrick Mahomes, I hear that he is so far ahead of schedule on his rehab from ACL that
you won't see him in the preseason, but you're going to see him in week 1. I have a feeling.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
I have a feeling. that's coming, and that's I was hoping you could kind of bypass him a little bit at the beginning of the year and for the Chiefs, but it'll be interesting to see. But Coop, it's Tuesday. You've stayed long enough. You got important things to do besides this nonsense. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here 8 to 10 as well. Come and join us live on YouTube or catch us on demand as well. Legend is new. Stay out of the way. You'll see the aura down the freeway. See that going down there. Just a bird. Robert says Seahawks get to play the Cardinals twice. So that's the thing. That's the other reason why they're scheduled weaker. Is they got a gimme game.
Well, okay, all right. Hey, good point, Robert. Good point, Robert.
Come on back tomorrow, guys. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everyone.